Masatumas Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mriturma Amritam Gamaya Abhirabhirma Yedhi Rudra Jate Dakshinam Mukham Tinamam Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara of Sadananda Yogendra. In our last class, we talked about ignorance. What is ignorance? The author gave 5 adjectives to define ignorance. First, sad asadhyam anidvachaniyam. It is neither real nor unreal. It is something, it is undescribable. Nobody can describe it. This ignorance. Second, trigunatmakam. It consists of the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, calmness, activity and dullness. Third, jnana virodhi. The moment knowledge comes, ignorance goes away. When light comes, darkness goes away. Fourth, bhavarupam. It is something tangible. Nobody can deny it, that the ignorance does not exist. We experience it every day. I am ignorant, I don't understand. We experience it. So you cannot deny its existence. It exists. Ignorance. Fourth, jat kinchit. It is something otherwise you cannot explain anything. Ignorance. It is the magical power of Brahman. Shankara speaks Maya as the power of the Lord, beginningless and compounded of the 3 gunas. Though intangible, it can be inferred from the effect it produces. Maya is something positive, though intangible, which cannot be described as either being or non-being, and which is antagonistic knowledge. Swami, is it very important to understand Maya, ignorance? The moment you understand it, that very moment Maya disappears. I remember the teacher who taught us Vedanta, he said his own experience. He was seated on a piece of big rock on the bank of the Ganges in Rishikesh at the foothill of the Himalayas. And through meditation, he had a revelation. He understood what was Maya. Immediately jumped from that big piece of rock and encircled it. And he was so happy that he was bumping his head on the rock and shouted, I understood, I understood. This ignorance. Sri Ramakrishna told a parable that a man in circus put on the skin and the headdress of a tiger and jumping in front of the children and frightening them. One of the children got up and said, "Hey, I know you are our Hori. You are a circus tiger. You are not the real tiger." Immediately Hori could not frighten them anymore. He removed his his headdress and revealed his real nature to these people. Similarly, all these things, problems of life we find because of this ignorance. The moment you know it, it disappears. Sri Ramakrishna said, if the light is dark for 1,000 years, do you think the light will come slowly, slowly? In the twinkling of an eye, the whole light will be, the whole room will be lighted. What is this ignorance? Tonight we shall start about God. What is God? Who is God? Who am I? What is the relationship between me and God? It is extremely important. What is God? Who is God? We go everywhere, different temples, different churches, different people talk about God. Most people have no concept what is God. I remember once a Jesuit father told in a conference, I was present, that Hindus never defines God. The Hindus, they do not define God because it is very difficult to define God. In Hindu, in Christianity, in Islam, in Judaism, you have a specific concept. God is infinite. Finite human being cannot fathom, cannot understand that infinite nature of God. You want to define, how will you define? Through your intellect. That intellect is limited, finite. The finite intellect cannot define the infinite. It is impossible. So we guess. So I shall tell you how the Vedantins guess about God. Ishvara, Brahman associated with the upadhi of collective ignorance, is designated by Vedantists as Ishvara or Shaguna Brahman, who corresponds roughly to the personal God of various religions. According to non-dualistic Vedanta, the personal God is one step lower than Brahman, though he is the highest symbol of manifestation of Brahman in the relative world. Ishvara is endowed with such qualities as omniscience, omnipresence, universal lordship, and unlimited power. Brahman cannot be described by any specific attribute. It is Ishvara and not pure Brahman, who, in his different aspects, is called the creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe. Ishvara or Shagun Brahman, with the help of Sattva, creates, with the help of Rajas, preserves, and with the help of Tamas, destroys. He is the inner controller of the universe. The light of Ishvara that illumines the cosmic ignorance is the light of Brahman. From the standpoint of pure Brahman, there is no creation. Hence, none of the attributes ascribed to Ishvara applies to Brahman. As gold without dross cannot be used for ornaments, so pure Brahman, without the dross of Maya, cannot create the universe. Ishvara is, as it were, a corruption or deterioration of Brahman. Now I shall explain to you what it means. In Vedantic tradition, Brahman is the absolute reality, the ultimate reality. It consists of existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Existence, consciousness, and bliss, that is Brahman. Now the name and form, Nama and Rupa, what we see in this manifested universe and these manifested beings, are the product of ignorance, Maya. Pure gold is very soft. You cannot make any ornament, any jewelry. You will have to add some alloy to make that gold strong. Then you can make bracelet, necklace, ring, all these things. Absolute gold, you cannot make any ornament from absolute 100% pure gold. So pure consciousness cannot create anything. You will have to mix some alloy. That is ignorance, Maya. Absolute truth is beyond use. This whole universe is nothing but mixture of truth and untruth. Only whiteness cannot make a photograph. You need black and white. You need a little black shade. Otherwise no photo will take a spot. Absolute black, dark things also cannot make a photograph. You need both to bring a form, to bring a shape. Sound, name and form. Nama, Rupa. Chetanananda has a name, it has a form. This table has a name, it has a form. The light has a name, it has a form. Whatever you see in this world is nothing but name and form. That is Maya. That is ignorance. But Swami, does ignorance have the power to produce all this vast universe, motion, all these human beings, trees, mountains? Yes. Sometimes it is hard to conceive, I tell you frankly. Think about yourself. This human body, what is this? Nothing, single drop of liquid substance entered into the womb of mother and created later this 150, 200, 300 pounds strong body, strong bones, strong skull. All these things came from a single drop liquid substance. This tiny seed of banyan tree can create a huge banyan tree. Sometimes, it is hard to imagine, hard to conceive. What is this power? You will have to understand this Vedanta. We shall discuss about creation. The Vedantic creation is very scientific. It is not like we read in the biblical creation, let there be light, there is light, let there be sun, there is sun, let there be earth, there is water, let there be water, there is water, earth. All these things came just from the lips, from the words of God. When the creation chapter comes, we shall discuss about it. Now we shall talk about God. What is God? Who is God? Brahman, this absolute, becomes relative through space-time causation. Here is A, here is C. C means universe, and A is Brahman, absolute. C, relative. And this B is a space-time causation. Through a space-time causation, A becomes C. Let me give another example. Very scientific. What is a space? So I know room is space, St. Louis is space, Missouri is space, US is space, space is space. We know space. Space begins the moment you have a concept, a body. I am. My body occupies a particular space. Time begins the moment we start to think. Thinking. You think past, you think present, you think future. Everything is in the mind. Causation begins the moment we limit ourselves from others. I am separate from you. You are separate from me. This table is separate from me. I am separate from this microphone. In this way, causality, one limits the other. These three things are in the domain of Maya. This Brahman becomes this Jeev Jagat, this universe and all these beings through its magical power, through its Maya. Actually, Brahman exists. This Maya does not have absolute reality, but a relative reality, changing reality. This Chetanananda has a body, which is real at present. But after some years, this Chetanananda's body will not remain. It will disintegrate. So the name and form evolve and dissolve in the ocean of Satchidananda. Try to see this way. Here is the vast Pacific Ocean. There are billions of waves, evolving, dissolving, evolving, dissolving. That ocean is Brahman. You are a wave, I am a wave. All these beings are individual waves, but all we are connected with that ocean. Try to understand this way. Sum total of these waves is called Ishvara, God. I sometimes our teacher gave another illustration. Here is a chandelier. The chandelier has 4 billion electric bulbs. Some bulbs are 1000 power, 500 power, 200 power, 100 power, 60, 75, 30, 40, 10, 20, 5. Various electric bulbs are connected with that chandelier with 4 billion bulbs. Try to imagine that way. You are a bulb, I am a bulb, she is a bulb. All these bulbs are luminous because of that consciousness behind, Brahman behind. And the chandelier is Ishvara, God. And each bulb is individual beings connected with Ishvara. Just see, we are never devoid of God. We are never separated from God. We are always connected with God. The Upanishad tells us, every night you go to God. When you are in deep sleep, we shall discuss this thing, Karana Sharira, in causal body. When you merge into that deep sleep, cosmic ignorance, you become one with God. You get tremendous peace, serenity in that dreamless sleep state. And you come back again to the waking state. This is Ishvara. So try to understand this way. Pure consciousness associated with cosmic ignorance is called Ishvara, God, according to Vedanta. That is called personal God. In Christianity, in Allah, God, Jehovah, all these things, whatever we say, that is the Shagun Brahman, Brahman with qualities, Brahman with power. It is extremely important for us to understand this aspect. Then you will understand who are you, what is your real nature, how you are connected with God all the time, but you forgot. You remember in the very beginning I told you, this teacher of Vedanta wants to teach his disciple through 2 methods, superimposition, desuperimposition. Now he is teaching superimposition, how Atman, Brahman, has been superimposed by these 5 sheaths, these sheaths of the soul, this ignorance. How Atman, your pure consciousness, is covered by that ignorance. Then he will remove this ignorance from you. That is called desuperimposition. This is the way the teacher of Vedanta will teach you. Now our superimposition chapter is going on. In Hinduism, we find various gods and goddesses, Kali, Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, Rama, Krishna, of course, they are all avatars, divine incarnations. They are various personal gods. Vedanta believes we are all personal gods. You are a personal god, I am a personal god. We are reflected gods. To Swami, we are gods, then but we are miserable because Molino Shatta Pradana. Do you know why we are miserable? because our intellect, our mind is covered with dust, dirt, desires, doubts, various kinds of selfishness. So this is not a very clean mind, you know. So we do not get the reflection of God right, Brahman right. You have gone for vacations for a year. Your bathroom is dirty. Your mirror of the bathroom also they are full of dust. When you come back, you cannot see your face. So you wipe it, all the dust, then you can see your face. Similarly, our minds are covered with dirt. For that reason, we are miserable. But behind that dirt, that pure consciousness is there. Then I shall read another section, then you will get a chance to connect the jiva, individual soul. Who are you? Brahman or pure consciousness associated with individual ignorance in Ishvara, cosmic ignorance, is called the jiva or individual living soul. The jiva, Jiva, dwells in a body. The consciousness of the jiva, which is derived from pure consciousness or Brahman, illumines like a lamp the individual ignorance. That is why the mind, the buddhi, the ego, and the senses, which are products of ignorance and material in nature, appear to be conscious. The individual soul, on account of his being produced by the upadhi of individual maya, is unlike Ishvara, devoid of the power of lordship. For the same reason, it is not omniscient like Ishvara. Both Ishvara means God, and Jiva, individual being, are associated with Maya. Both are products of Maya, but the difference between them lies in the fact that Maya is under the control of Ishvara, whereas the Jiva, or individual beings, is under the control of Maya. The limitations imposed by Maya upon the Jiva make it totally forget its real nature. But Ishvara cannot be injured by his Maya, as the cobra cannot be injured by its poison. That's a beautiful illustration. Do you know what they are talking about? Mayadhin and Mayadhish. Ishvara, God, has full control over the Maya, over his power. Our individual beings have no control. They are so weak that they are the slaves of Maya. Think about yourself. Your desire is controlling you. You do not control the desire. Perhaps you are a compulsive eater or compulsive buyer. You go there. Your desire forcing you to do something, and you are following your order of your desire. You have no control of the mind. Mind is controlling you. A Vedanta will teach you how to attain the self-mastery. A real student has full control over his mind, over the senses. He dictates, do it. Hey mind, sit down, meditate. And mind obeys. You sense organs, obey me. Don't give me trouble. Don't try to tempt me. All sense organs obey this person. The more you meditate, the more you establish relationship with your Atman, you will attain self-mastery. And all the senses, your body, your mind, your sense organs will obey you. The nature will obey you. That is the reason we practice spiritual disciplines, to gain that self-mastery. Now, Sri Ramakrishna gave this illustration. Ishvara, God, has also Maya. His body is made out of Maya. Remember, the moment I say Maya, immediately you remember name and form. Christ has a name, Christ has a form. Ramakrishna has a name, Ramakrishna is form. A name and form are in the domain of Maya. But look, what is the difference between Christ, Ramakrishna, and you and me? All human beings are not the same. There is a difference of manifestation. One man can defeat 100 people. Sri Ramakrishna gave this illustration. The snake has fangs in both sides. In that fang there is dead poison. When that snake bites a person and injects that person dies. But all the time this snake is carrying the poison, this poison does not affect the snake. It has full control over its fangs. Similarly, God has full control over his Maya. Maya cannot affect him. But Maya affects us. We suffer because of Maya, ignorance. Maya and ignorance same. Avidya, same. It is just synonymous words. Maya means the thing which limits the infinite. That is called Maya. Individual beings have name and form. God also has name and form. Both are products of Maya. But what a difference. Both Ishvara and Jiva are manifestations of Brahman on the relative plane. But Ishvara is free, like a spider which moves freely on its way, whereas the Jiva is entangled in the world like a silkworm imprisoned in its cocoon. Swami, I am just giving you some ideas about creation. As a spider creates this cobweb out of its own body. Or you see the spider cobweb or a spider's net. It came from its own body. So from Ishvara, this whole universe came. And it can absorb also within itself, within himself. Ishvara uses Maya as his instrument for the purpose of creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. Through Maya, again, he exercises his lordship over it. But the Jiva is a slave of Maya. It must never be forgotten that from the standpoint of pure Brahman, Maya is non-existent. Therefore, both Ishvara and Jiva are non-existent from the standpoint of the Absolute. Both are appearances, but on the relative plane, the Jiva is the worshipper and Ishvara the worshipped. Ishvara is the creator and the Jiva the created being. Ishvara is the father and Lord and the Jiva his child or servant. Though Ishvara is one step lower than Brahman, yet his importance in the relative world is beyond all measure. As a matter of fact, since Brahman is the unrelated absolute, it cannot be an object of Jiva's thought or adoration. Ishvara, or the personal God, derives his power and reality from Brahman and is the highest conception of the infinite that can be formed by the finite mind. When the highest flight of spiritual experience is reached, then both the individual soul and the personal God merge in Brahman and the three become one. Brahman alone exists. But Swami, then why should I worship God? If God and myself, both we are the same substance. Just see the concept. God takes human form time to time to help human beings. God was born as Rama, as Krishna, as Buddha, as Jesus, as Ramakrishna, to help human beings to realize God. Because there is so much suffering, pain in this world, bondage. They come to demonstrate how one can attain liberation, how one can attain illumination in this very life. We need grace. We need help. When you become sick, what do? You run to a doctor. Please cure me. When you are mentally disturbed, you go to a psychiatrist. Please remove all these misunderstandings and my mental problems. Similarly, when we are entangled by Maya, bondage, we are really miserable. We do not find a way out. So, we go to a teacher and ask, please tell us the way. How can we get rid of this misery, suffering, pain, agony, bondage from this life? Now I shall read Vedantasara, our text. Idam, individual and collective aspects. This ignorance has collective aspect as well as individual aspect. Idam ajnanam samashti besti abhiprayana ekam anekam iti cha vyavhariyati tata hi yata vrikshanam vanam iti ekatta vyapadesha yatha va jalanam samashti abhiprayana jalasaya iti tata nanatena pratibhashamananam jivagata jnananam samashti abhiprayana tadekatta vyapadesha ajam ekam ittadi shrutehe. This ignorance is said to be one or many according to the mode of observing it, either collectively or individually. As for instance, trees considered as an aggregate are denoted as one, namely the forest, or water is collectively named as the reservoir. So also ignorance existing in jivas, being diversely manifested, is collectively represented as one, and in such scriptural passages as there is one unborn, etc. Samashti and Besti. Men. Women. It is a word. Men means all men in this world. But all men, there are 4 billion men. Perhaps women, perhaps maybe 2 billion women. So these men and women, we see it is a one, all are human beings, but there are 4, 5, 6 billion human beings, all are individual beings. As we see, similarly, ignorance is one and it can be many. Why? Why do we want to divide ignorance? Because we see it. When you are liberated, I am not liberated. When I am liberated, you are not liberated. So you see, that proves that if ignorance is one, if my liberation would bring liberation to each human beings. That is not happening. So we see there is variety and there is a gradation of ignorance. Suppose a person is very ignorant and you are more knowledgeable. In this way we find there are various kinds of ignorance. Sometimes in same person, if suppose I do not know how to drive a car. So I am ignorant about driving the car. But I have knowledge in some other aspect. So you see, knowledge and ignorance are staying in the same person. You do not know many things, and also you know many other things. So this way we can guess that ignorance is one, and at the same time ignorance can be many. The sun is one, but the reflected suns are many. There are 2 schools, both schools have, similar. One school says don't divide the ignorance, let it be one. Another school says no, you will have to divide ignorance. Because we see each individual being's ignorance, understanding differs. So you cannot put all in the same category. Because we see individual beings are many, so ignorance also are many. Sadananda Yogendra approves the view that ignorance is really it is variety, it is many. Then he supported his view. He says, do you know why I am talking? Actually speaking, there is no ignorance. Brahman alone exists from the absolute standpoint. Now in the relative standpoint, we are in the world, so we'll have to talk from this standpoint. He says there are some Madhyama Adhikari, that high class people, the supreme intelligent, spiritually advanced, awakened people, for them, they do not care for ignorance at all. They are illumined Jivan Mukta Purush, ever free souls. They do not care for ignorance. But the moment the middle class and the lower class people come, we see a variety. So the Vedanta teacher will have to teach, give instructions according to that person's understanding. You see, this is another beauty of Vedanta. There is no straight jacket. The teacher of Vedanta teaches individually. There is no common prayer in Vedanta. You are MA class and another person is kindergarten. If I give the same lesson, it does not work. You are in a graduate school, another is in the first, second grade. I'll have to teach first, second grade according to that first, second grade, and the graduate school students will get different kind of lessons. It differs. I cannot give the same lesson to everybody. Similarly, it says, if you want to be a successful teacher, you must teach individually. Otherwise, suppose you have a disease and all this, if I prescribe the same medicine to everybody, it will not work. Medication differs from patient to patient. Some people need high dose of medicine, some people needs a medium dose, lower potency. In this way, the medicine differs according to the intensity of that person's sickness, disease. Similarly, according to the intensity of the ignorance, the teachings differs. It is a fact. That is the way it goes. Sometimes people say, Swami, a Sunday lecture, you see. I know from in the audience, some are very intellectuals, some are very devotional, some are newcomers, some come just for fun, some really are sincere seekers, some are very active, pragmatic, some are very mystical, some are very rational. So you will have to prepare a lecture in such a way so that you can feed all people in the congregation. That is a big, difficult job. Very difficult job. Some are newcomers. So you must teach according to the capacity of a student. We have already discussed the qualification of a student. Consciousness in some Vedantic, according to a Vedanta school, consciousness is also three kinds of consciousness. Brahma Chaitanya, Ishwar Chaitanya, Jiva Chaitanya. Consciousness, Brahma Chaitanya is pure consciousness associated with God, and consciousness associated with individual being. And now, what happens? You will have to understand, God is not a jiva, is not a soul. He does not have any karma. Individual beings have karma. We are born out of our own karma. We reincarnate. We evolve from one body to another body. But God is not a human being. He is Swatantra Ishvara. He is separate. He is different. God takes human form as Christ, as a Buddha, as Krishna, as Ramakrishna. Not out of karma, but embracing its own Maya. That's Krishna says. Do you know how do I take my human form, Arjuna? By subjugating my Maya, I grasp a human body so that I can protect religion, I can save the good people, and can destroy the wickedness of the wicked people. God takes human form. So you don't compare yourself with God. According to Vedanta, Jiva becomes Brahman, not God. But Swami, you are confusing us. I am not confusing. One drop of water, the moment falls into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. Immediately, you are a drop of rainwater. The moment you touch the ocean, you become the ocean. You become Brahman. The other night I was asking, does light and darkness, do they stay together? Ignorance and knowledge, do they stay together? One school says no, another school says yes. Example, you are resting under the shade of a tree. You see the shade person, say you see both the shade of the tree, you see the sunlight outside the tree. You see both, you see shade, you see the light. Both you see. See your life. You know some aspect you do not know. Both ignorance and knowledge are within you. Do you know what they are talking about? They are talking about that Vritti Chaitanya. That consciousness which reflects on your mind. That reflected consciousness has the power to destroy your ignorance forever. We shall discuss these things toward the end of this book. That is the most important chapter of this Vedanta scripture. How in my mind there is so much ignorance. And in my mind also there is knowledge also. This knowledge aspect will knock out the ignorance aspect of the mind. How? Through meditation. The more you practice meditation, the mind becomes luminous. I shall tell you one secret. Practice this one. The other day I was talking about that the mirror. Children play with the sunlight, take the mirror and take the reflection of the sun and diverts in different directions. So we are all like children. I have a mind which is akin to mirror. You have a mind like a mirror, and you are taking the reflection of the Atman. And do you know what is our problem? Our problem is our camera is fixed outside. So we see trees, plants, car, man, woman, food, clothing, all these things we are watching. Friends, our job, or my problem. Mind is always outside. Our mirror, this reflection, the focusing is outside. You just turn it back. You tell your mind, don't go outside, go within. And stay there. This mind immediately will make your heart luminous. It will take some time. In the beginning you will find deep darkness, I tell you. One of our teachers gave a beautiful illustration. Perhaps you have gone to see a matinee show. From the bright sun you entered into the movie house, or a movie has started, whole place is dark, and you will have to wait for the usher. He has a flashlight. He will say, what is your ticket number? The moment you say ticket number, he will see your number, he will take you to a place. But in the very beginning, you see everything is dark. Only you see the exit lights, the danger. When there is exit lights, you are seeing that way, you are adjusting your eyes because you just came from the bright sun, entered into a dark room. So Just wait a little. Let your eyes get used to it, Then the usher will come and take you to the proper place. And also you can perhaps visualize a little bit the number. It will take a little time. So the moment you turn your mind inward, the main fun will begin. Do you know what will happen? You will see what type of person you are. You will see yourself. When the beginners come, we ask them, please concentrate, meditate on Christ, on Ramakrishna, on Buddha. Do you know why? Because I know this person's mind is very much outgoing. So let them have practice on this divine human being, divine personality, for some time. And then when you get used to it, then from the form you turn inside. Try to see Christ, Buddha, Ramakrishna inside. Then, go on practicing, go on practicing, go on practicing. In this way, you will be an adept. You will be an expert meditator. Practice. There is no other way. You will have to sit. You will have to make an effort. You will have to make a resolution that I must do it. You give food to your body and you cannot give food to your mind. Meditation is the food for the mind. Your mind will be healthy, strong, pure. That is extremely important. Some people, try to understand God through the intellect. Oh, don't try. It will be very dry. You will get kind of some intellectual understanding, but it will not fulfill your heart. It will not give you too much joy either. Learn how to establish relationship with God, which is extremely important. As Krishna says, Klesho vodhikotarastesham abhyakta shakta chetasam abhyakta hi goti dukkham dehivadviravadpate. It is hard to establish relationship with Brahman, infinite, who is beyond mind, beyond form. You can imagine, but you cannot establish relationship. As long as you have a body, you are a dualist, you will think only forms. When some Muslims, think about Allah. How do you think of Allah? Allah is formless. You have a mind. As long as you have a mind, you will have to think a form. I asked one of my Muslim friends, he said, Swami, I imagine Kaaba, that black stone that I meditate, that holy place that I meditate. As long as you have a body, you have a mind, you will have to think a form. You cannot get rid of it. Oh my goodness. Sadananda Yogendra gave a beautiful illustration. You call it forest. What is the forest? The forest is nothing but some total of individual trees. You call a reservoir. What is reservoir? A reservoir is nothing but some total of drops of waters. Similarly, forest, try to imagine, he is asking people that you want to think of God, think God as a vast forest with billions of trees. You are a tree, I am a tree, each human being is a tree, but we are all in the forest. Think this way, you are a drop of water, I am a drop of water, you are a drop of water. All these billions of drops of water made that reservoir. Do you know what he is? Why is he suggesting these things? So that you can feel a relationship, a connection with God. What God is and who you are. All the time we are connected with God, but we are unaware of it. The Christian people call it a sin. Not knowing God is a sin. The Hindus call it ignorance, Maya, which brings this divorce, this separation. This separation is man-made. We separated ourselves from God. Yata kamo bhavati tat krutur bhavati jat krutur bhavati tat kurute jat kurute tat abhishampadyate. There is a mantra in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yada kamo bhavati, when a person has a desire, he resolves, I must fulfill my desire. That resolution forces that person to go into action. I must do it. And that action brings accomplishment. What a beautiful imagery, illustration. If your desire is good, your resolution is good, your action is good, your accomplishment is good. If your desire is bad, your resolution is bad, your action is bad, your accomplishment is bad. If you understand these 4 words, many problems of your life will be solved. My desire, my resolution, my action, my accomplishment is under me. It is me, it is I who is responsible for everything. That is the way I understand Vedanta, I tell you frankly. Watch your desire. What do you want to do in your life? What do you want to be in your life? Check and make the resolution accordingly. Act accordingly. Accomplishment, result is bound to come in your life. Which is a very, very bold philosophy, I tell you frankly. Very bold philosophy. Remember these 4 words. Again, let me repeat. Your desire, your resolution, your action, and accomplishment. You have made a desire that I shall go to Vedanta temple, hear Swami's talk on Vedanta. That desire made a resolution that immediately you took your supper and just started to drive your car. Your action brought you here. And when you will go back home, you will think that what did Swami say? Some words, some ideas, perhaps will stay in your mind. Those impressions are very vital. You are nothing but sum total of your impressions, your character I am talking about. Go on having these impressions day after day, month after month, year after year. Your character will be shaped, will be formed. So now we understand. So when you say God and human beings, try to imagine these 2 things. Forest, individual trees. Reservoir and the drops of water. Forest, God. Individual tree, human beings. Reservoir, God. Individual being are drops of water. Let me stop here. I like to hear your, if you wish, please ask me questions.
Swami, before creation, there's just one, absolute Brahman, oneness. And there's this footnote at the bottom of page 26 about ignorance being unborn.
Mm-hmm.
That would mean that it coexists with Brahman and the absolute?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Do you know what? Sri Ramakrishna gave that illustration. He's a big python. Huge python. No motion. At that time it is Brahman. And when that python moves, it becomes Ishvara, God. Actually, Brahman and his Shakti, as Sri Ramakrishna says, are inseparable, as milk and its whiteness, fire and its burning power. Ignorance, these things, do you know what do they discuss? If you go to a real Vedantin, he will say, I am not born, there is no world either. I am the Atman. There is one school that we read in Mandukya Upanishad. They do not believe in birth. If you think that you are the Atman, that means Aja, you are birthless, unborn. The moment you think that you are Chetanananda has a name and a form, that means you are born, you are bound in this body-mind organism. Don't get confused. Two things are there, absolute, relative. In relative standpoint, we are born, we need birthday cake and happy birthday song.
And ignorance is a part of the relative.
Ignorance is on the part of the relative, exactly.
Well, how could it be unborn? That would mean it's part of the absolute.
With he is talking unborn means without beginning. He specified it. Unborn means without beginning. It has no beginning.
That means it must always exist.
It exists. Satchidananda is the power of Brahman. But that Brahman, that Shakti sometimes manifests, sometimes it is unmanifest.
How can it be, I don't know, I'm confused. How can ignorance exist in absolute consciousness?
As I say, the fire always, that burning power always remains with it. You cannot separate. A Shakti, you see, look how it is. You have the Shakti, power. But you are not using that power. It is inside you. The Shakti is there, but you are not manifesting it. So the power in Brahman is always there. Sometimes it is not manifested. When it manifests, Nam Rupa Vyakarabani. Let me give another example to you. Whether ignorance many are Ishvara and ignorance. Think that clay is ignorance. Cup, plates, saucers, vases, all these things, innumerable, these pots and pans made out of clay. Clay is always one. Similarly, a Ishvara, ignorance is always one, but it has various manifestations. Electricity has various manifestations. This kind of what kind of bulb you bring, it brings that kind of shape, like that, variety. Then, do you know what is the main thing to experience? Unity of existence. Vedanta will teach us. The ethics, the main source of ethics is unity of existence. You, myself, all these human beings, we are one. By hurting you, I am hurting myself. By hurting others, I am hurting myself. Because we are one. That experience comes when you have this unity existence of, unity of existence, when you have this kind of experience. That we find in Vedantic tradition, that when you will be illumined, you said, how can I hate anybody? How can I hate others? Brahman dwells in all beings. I cannot hate Brahman. Being a Brahman, I cannot hate Brahman. God does not hate gods. But you see, as I say sometimes, those who are fundamental, very, what is called the narrow, bigoted, you will find in every religion, not only Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, narrow, bigoted people are always there. They hate. But there are some good, evolved souls are also there in every religion, the mystics, they love. They do not hate. You will find bad people are in every religion. Good people are also in every religion. Yes, we are watching that Houston Smith's that wisdom of faith. He will bring this beautiful, these 5 episodes will bring a lot of good feeling among different religions. Nowadays, people are so narrow, bigoted, so small-minded, This type of programs are very, very helpful to understand each other. Any other question? Om Sana Bhavatu Sano Bhunaktu Savirjam Karavavai Tejasvinabadhi Tamastu Ma Vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us. May he guide